So here's the current setup. This is my sandbox, again, to kind of learn how to do aquaponics on a small scale. Stock tank here, and we added in a drain to be able to dump all the water out whenever needed in the fall when I'm going to be tearing things down. You can see the 2 grow beds here, and each grow bed again is going to be dumping out the bottom, running through a U siphon once it fills up, and dumping back into the stock tank. Stock tank has pump down on the bottom, and you can see the tubing that runs up to a T. The T will dump most of the water right back into the stock tank, and that will help aerate the water, and we also just don't need that much pressure going into the grow beds. The other side will go up here to this ball valve, which then goes into the swirl filter. Water comes in here. Most of the solids will collect at the bottom. The water up here is going to be relatively free of solids. This water will then slowly drain into the 2 grow beds. Once the grow beds fill, siphon out, dump into the stock tank independently, and keeps going over and over again. And then what we have here is our drain for the swirl filter. Once we collect enough solids there and we want to just kind of clear it out, you can see there's a 90 down there. And then essentially what happens here, the water level should never get up to this point. Part of the reason is it's going to be draining there, and then I also have just kind of an emergency hole just when I'm leaving it unattended. If anything goes wrong, this water will dump right back into the stock tank. So this essentially is a shutoff valve, and the way that you open it up is you just turn this and all the sludge will dump out the bottom, and then in order to close it you just go like that again. So I'm going to fill this up with water and we can show it in operation. Pump is keyed off coming into the stock tank. Probably going to need to figure out a way to regulate that a little bit better, but water is coming into the swirl filter, and then it is dumping there. That's the water that's going into the 2 grow beds, and slowly they will fill up and then siphon when they're full. Now what I have going on here is basically this is a large piece of PVC, and I have a bunch of slits cut into it so that water can go in. Well, inevitably roots are going to go in there as well, and so what I also have is a smaller diameter piece of PVC here, also with slits in it. So if that happens, the way this will work is this will be fixed because I'll have soil here or foam depending on which bed I'm working on, and then I just turn this and that will cut off the pieces of the roots. That will dump into the stock tank. It may not be an issue at all. I suppose the other thing that I could do is I could kind of cut them off, pull them out of here before the tank is actually starting to siphon. So anyway, next just need to get some fish and some plants in here, and then we should be ready to go. It quickly demonstrates the drain here. Now there's nothing solid at the bottom here, but I just want to show you how this works. So right now there's no water coming out of it, but all I need to do is turn that, and essentially what that's going to do is going to suck up all the sludge that's on the bottom, and then I can dump that into a bucket, and then so that water can be dumped into a bucket, and then we're going to use that in our raised beds.